I quit my job in the middle of a pandemic. And in this video, I'm going to share with you why I quit my job, how I did it. This video is in no way attacking or demeaning anyone with a 9 to 5 job, as that is the job I had for since I left college. And this is also not a video to tell you to quit your job if you're enjoying your dream job, your 9 to 5 job. However, if you truly hate your job and you can't wait to go out and that's why you're here, hopefully this video will offer you a little bit of comfort, and maybe this is your sign to quit your job if that's really what you want to do. If you don't know me, my name is Angelica. I post videos twice a week, every single week. It's usually hair growth content, but sometimes I post some fun videos or just different videos like this one today. So if you're interested in knowing how, why, when I quit my job, stay tuned all the way till the end because it's gonna get interesting. Okay, so let's go back a little bit so you can just get an idea of what's going on, okay? I was one of those people who was just born knowing what I wanted to do. Like, I came out of the womb, I was like 2, 3 years old. I was like, when I grow up, I want to be a journalist. I was always glued to the TV. When I was like maybe 3, 4 years old, I can't remember, but I think I was under 5 years old. Okay, I was obsessed with the Spice Girls.
Yo, tell me what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Slap your body down and wine, it's all around. Slap your body down and wine, it's all around.
So obsessed with the Spice Girls, and I was watching TV with my mom, and the Spice Girls were doing an interview.
Hi, we're the Spice Girls, and here's To Become One.
And I asked my mom, who's the woman interviewing them? Like, who's the woman who's talking to them? And she was like, oh, she's a journalist. And I was like, what's a journalist? Of course, I'm making this conversation up, but this is the gist of what was spoken about, okay? So I asked her what a journalist was, and she said, well, that's the person who talks to these celebrities and who interviews them. And I was like, that is, like, you can do that as a job? I was like, that is what I want to do. I want to be on the TV talking to these people and figuring out what's going on. And people would always tell me, every single person, including teachers at my school, when I tell them that I want to be a journalist, they would say, you know, you can't make money being a journalist in this country, right? Like, you know, there's no money in journalism. And I was like, aren't they like a few though? Like a few journalists with money? And they were like, yeah, that's like maybe 5. So there's a very slim chance. And I was like, you know what? If there's 5, then I'm gonna be one of those 5, okay? I'm gonna do it. Oh, also cut to it, my first job was a TV presenter. I was a TV presenter since I was in the 8th grade, I think, and I did it for about 5 years. And I was not getting paid, okay? I was doing it for the experience, and I was a presenter on a kids and teens show, and I had my own little fashion segment, and sometimes I would host the show. And so, yeah, the bug got me. I was like, this is what I'm supposed to do. I was right the whole time. Sometimes you think you know what you want to do, and then you do it, and you're like, I don't think it's exactly what I thought it was. But it was what I thought it was, okay? Even though I wasn't getting paid, it was what I wanted to do. I went to University of Pennsylvania for a student exchange program. I was at the University of Botswana for 2 years, and then in my second half of my second year, I did a student exchange program, and I went to UPenn. And I was there for 6 months, and for the first time, I had no TV. But I had my laptop, and I had 24/7 Wi-Fi. I would go on YouTube and just watch random things. And one time I wanted to buy some makeup because I have always been obsessed with makeup. I wanted to buy makeup. I went to the store and I saw the most foundation, the most eyeshadow, the most makeup I had ever seen in my life. It was like I was in heaven. And because of that, I was also, kind of broke. I didn't know what to buy. So I went on YouTube to try and find someone who looks like me, maybe similar skin tone, similar face shape, who does makeup, so that I could try and just copy what they're using. And that's when I found Samantha Maria. I think her name was Beauty Crush at the time. And I saw some of the products she was using. I went to buy them. I started using them and I was like, I like this YouTube thing. I think I can do this. I started my YouTube channel while I was in university, finished university, I graduated, I aced everything. Not to brag. I also got the Dean's Prize for my entire faculty. Finished school, came back. I did a few internships at like media houses, stuff to do with TV, but I was working in the background, okay? I didn't enjoy it. I was doing, there was like a wedding kind of show we're doing, so I would interview the couples. I started like doing part-time makeup on the TV presenter. And the whole time I was just thinking like I want to be on the other side, okay? I don't want to be doing the background stuff. I did enjoy a little bit of like the producing side, editing and stuff. Of course, I enjoyed that. I do that for my YouTube channel. But it was just like meh, it wasn't something that I really wanted. Then those were just internships. My first like permanent full-time job was working in marketing, and yeah, this is where like the full story starts, okay? This is the job that I've been in this entire time until the middle of quarantine, okay? So I was working for a mall, and I wasn't working for a store. I was working for basically the company that owned the mall, and I was working in marketing. Now here's the thing. I never wanted to be in an office. I have never wanted to be in an office my entire life. So I knew the whole time that eventually I was gonna find a way to get out, okay? But I didn't think it would be so soon. I think I thought I would be there for like maybe 5, 6 years, save a bit of money, know what I'm doing, get myself together. But while I was working there, of course, the first couple weeks are good. You start to get a better paycheck than when you're an intern and you're like, this is interesting. I was working in a mall. I could always walk around. There were lots of, there's like fashion stores. I love a bargain. Okay. I even like going to the grocery store. I could see people. It wasn't like as boring as your standard office. The longer I stayed in the job, the longer I knew I didn't want to do it. Okay. So the thing is, people don't like to take big risks, and I find that either way, you're going to be upset, you're going to be sad, okay? There's either the pain of staying the same or the pain of taking a risk and not knowing what's going to happen afterwards. Now, luckily, I am young, I have no children, I am not married, I am not in a relationship, so I can do whatever I want, and this is the best time for me to test out doing whatever I want. So when I was working in that job, first of all, I was being underpaid, and part of it is because the economy is quite trash, and it's been for a while. The cost of living is very low in comparison to like other countries. But if your salary is really low, then the cost of living becomes very high for you. Also, my job was about an hour and a half away, and I had no car. So I would get on 4 buses a day. So I would first walk about 10, 15 minutes to the bus station, and then I would get on a bus that would take me in the middle of town, the central business district. Then I would get on another bus from there to the job where I was working. And yeah, so it would take me about an hour and a half. I hated the commute. I hated getting on the public transport because everything is like, if you're in Zambia, you know what a minibus is like, okay? And people would always say, well, why don't you just buy a car? And that was like when I had been working there for maybe 2 years. I worked there for about 3 years. So after about 2 years, people would ask me why I wouldn't buy a car, and I would just say, well, I can't afford it, but I am very good with savings. So I definitely didn't have enough savings to buy like a little car that was lighter on gas, but would still probably take almost half of my salary or like a quarter of my salary. So I didn't get a car because I was saying I can go through this until I can make enough money and save enough money to not have to do this. So the longer, like if I got a car, it was going to set me back by a lot of months. So I was like, I'm just going to ride it out. This sounds like one of those stories that your parents tells you like, when I was your age, I had to walk through the woods and climb over mountains to go to work. But for me, it really was one of those dramatic stories because in the rain season, the bus station would flood. There would be water up to like this much water. Dirty, dirty brown water, okay? I would wear those like construction type boots, okay? And I would leave my house and I would walk to the bus station in those boots, and I would carry shoes in my handbag. And I was like, it's fine, it's fine. It stopped bothering me because every single time I went to work, I would just console myself and I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'm gonna wear these boots, and this is the last time I'm wearing these boots. Like, I'm never ever wearing these boots again. Like, the next rain season, I'm gonna be my own boss. So I had the intention the whole time. When I was working there just for a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, like 2 or 3 months, someone very close to me passed away, and it was like a wake up call. She was one of my best friends, and it was just such like, it was a reminder that life is very short. but it's also very long, and I don't have time to be doing things that I don't want to do when life is that short. And then about 3 months later, a cousin who was really close to me also died in a plane crash. And so I was like, I am not wasting time, okay? I need to work hard and do whatever I can to get out of this situation. So I was a marketing assistant for a while. And then I started doing, like, taking on more responsibilities, and I was doing that for almost a year. And here's just a little tip, okay? Most of the time, your boss, especially if you work in a huge company, you'll not get a raise unless you ask for it. And it's usually not because the company is super greedy. It's just because if you're very content with what you're doing and they think you're fine and they think you're happy, they will not offer it to you. And statistically speaking, the reason why a lot of men get more promotions than women is simply because they ask. There's obviously other factors involved, but that is one of the big reasons why men get promotions. It's because they're not afraid to ask. I happen to be one of those people. I am like a man when it comes to working, okay? So, anyway, they had asked me if I want to take on a little more responsibility and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then they said, so would you like to do this? Like, we'd like to give you a little bit more responsibility. So, can you work for about 4 to 6 months? And then, if we like the work that you're doing, we will go ahead and give you a promotion. And so everyone was like, yeah, that sounds like such a great idea. You should definitely do it. And I said, I will not do it for free because I have been doing this extra work for months. Of course, in a very professional way, but this is the gist of what I said, okay? I have been doing this for many months and I have proven that I can do this job. So I suggest that you give me the promotion now temporarily. You can put me on probation for 3 months or however long you feel is necessary. And then if you're comfortable with it, we can set it in stone and we can fully get and I can fully get into the role. Most people usually say don't ask for more than like an 8 to 10% or maximum 15% because anything more than that they're likely not to give you that raise. However, I thought I knew exactly what I was doing, so I asked for no less than double my salary with immediate effect when they wanted me to start taking on those new responsibilities, or I said I would be comfortable doing what I was doing until they have the budget to give me a raise. And within 1 or 2 months, they gave me the promotion. I had a new title, I had double my salary, and that allowed me to save money faster. So then, as I was working, I feel like I started to make some money now on YouTube that was almost the same amount of money as my salary. So every time I got paid, it was almost like double. But what I needed was to make sure that I get paid more than my current salary before I leave, and also to make sure that I had money saved so that if anything went wrong and everything just happened to go wrong, like let's say YouTube says we're not going to show ads on your video anymore, or YouTube shuts down, or something like that, I had to be able to keep myself safe. So by that time, I had already saved about a year and a half's worth of money to pay myself. Like at the current salary that I was getting, if anything went wrong, I would have been able to pay myself for a year and a half every single month. If you want saving tips, like a video on saving money, I'm not a guru yet, I'm not rich yet, but I am a master at saving money. So if you want a video on that, I can surely make one. Let me know in the comment section below. I don't mind working like in TV or like for a magazine, anything to do with that. That's like more in the entertainment kind of section. But with me being on the forefront, I am not ashamed to say I love to be in front of the camera, okay? I'm very introverted, I'm very quiet, but I love to be in front of the camera. So if it's that, then something like that it's all good. But for that kind of job, just sitting in an office every single day, that was not for me. So another thing that got me thinking is I started to read a lot more books, whether it was just like financial advice or self-help books. One thing it really brought my attention to is that you can always make more money, but you cannot make more time. If I said this week or this month, I'm gonna put in like some serious work, I'm gonna work so hard every single day, I'm gonna get to the office earlier, I'm gonna work for 10 hours, I'm going to do like whatever, no matter how hard I went, I would still get paid the same salary at the end of the month. However, being my own boss or working on YouTube and social media, if I said, let me work 5 times harder, there's a chance that I could make 5 times more than I was making within the same hours in the office. And that started to really make my head spin. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be putting so much effort in something that I don't really want to do when I can put that effort into something that I really want to do, that's my part time job, and I'm making the same amount of money as my full time job. If I swap the amount of energy I'm putting into these things, I could possibly make money and still do what I actually love to do. So, fast forward, the pandemic hit, and I requested to work from home when there was one case, I think two cases in the country. And again, I told you I don't waste time. I'm not going to wait for my boss to say, hey, you can work from home now. I just sent an email and said, I get on 4 buses, I'm at high risk, I need to work from home, blah, blah, blah. 2 days later, they let me work from home. And that was the last time I actually worked in the office. So I worked from home for about 6 months. 6 or 7 months I was working from home. So I did have more time. So I would be working on YouTube and my job at the same time. I would wake up super early, make sure I can do whatever I could for my main job that was paying me every month. Very seriously, I would wake up, do everything I need to do, and then if there's anything that I just need to wait, like calls, emails, I would just keep it on standby so that if I'm filming or doing something else, I could either just stop, deal with that, and then get back to work. And then I was like, you know what? Yes, I started to make a little more money, a little more money. And then I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to leave. So I sent in my resignation letter. I called my boss before I sent it in, wrote my nice little letter. By the way, I had my letter done for an entire year. I had my resignation letter for an entire year. So I just had to edit the date. And I was actually only off by a month of my predicted date of when I was going to quit. And then I still had to work for 30 days because that was, that was what was in my contract. And the month that I sent in my resignation letter, I made 5 times the amount of money I would make from that job in 1 month. Like my salary times 5 months, I made that money in 1 month. Okay, in the month that I sent in my resignation letter, and I was like, this is a sign from God that I am doing the right thing. Okay, it is risky, it is scary to not work for anyone and not have like a stable income, because 1 month you could get way less than what I was being paid before, and then the next month you could make like 7 times more. There was no emotional like turmoil. I didn't cry when I quit my job because I was so prepared and ready for like months before. So another reason why I quit is because I had no time for myself. I went to work from Monday to Saturday, and Sunday was my only day off, and so I had everything I had to do was on Sunday, whether that meant washing my hair, relaxing, spending time with my friends, like everything was on that same one day. And I just felt like I was spending so much time in a place that I didn't like. And how was I going to be spending most of my time in my entire life, in the best years of my life, doing something that I didn't love? And before you think, how ungrateful. How can you be so ungrateful when people in this time, in the middle of a pandemic, are losing jobs? A lot of people don't even have a job and now they can't get a job. I am not ungrateful, and I never was ungrateful for my job. I was so grateful that I had a job. It taught me a lot about managing my time, managing my day, knowing how to pay myself, how to save money. It taught me about creating schedules, planning events. I also learned negotiation skills, how to speak to people, because I'll talk to people every single day. So, like, customer service skills are very important because you can really know how to test your patience when you're dealing with people who you don't know every single day. But the thing is, just because you're grateful for something doesn't mean it should hold you back. Just because you're grateful that something is good doesn't mean it can't be better. And I'm not saying always be dissatisfied and always be like, always want more. Although progress creates happiness most of the time, even if it's not something major like money or anything like that, little things make a major difference. So I am never one to settle, and it is why I am not in a relationship right now, because I haven't met someone who I would personally want to be in a relationship with. And so I would rather wait. I am a very patient person, okay? I can wait. That's why I took the bus. But at the same time, I don't like to waste time, okay? I'm patient when it makes sense. But I was not willing to stay and be unhappy just because I'm grateful. You can be grateful and you can move on. If you feel like, oh my God, I've been working here for like 5 years and I'm loyal to the company, and look, you're replaceable. Everybody in a job is replaceable. Even if you are an extremely good employee and they fight for you to stay and they offer you more money, if you're willing to take that more money and the reason why you wanted to leave is because you were being underpaid, then fine, stay. But look at everyone else in your company. That's what I did. I looked at my company and I looked at my boss and I said, I don't want my boss's job. Like, I don't see myself here in the next 10 years. I don't want to climb up the ladder. I don't even want my boss's job. And even though I for sure care about money, and I do want to be, and plan to be, and will be rich, it's not all about the money. But at the same time, I want to make as much money as I can doing what I actually love. I have no negative emotions when it comes to money, okay? I know a lot of people like to say things like money is the root of all evil. Money money is nothing, okay? Money is a paper. It is neutral. It only takes on whatever emotion or idea that you put upon it. If you think money is good, money is amazing, then that's what it's going to be. If you think it's horrible, if you think it's evil, that's what it's going to be. And you're not going to have it. If deep down you think money is evil, even if you have the opportunity to have a lot of money, you're still not going to have it because deep down you might think maybe rich people are bad people. Why would you want to be a bad person? People like to give alternatives. Like when you ask someone, would you like to be rich? They would say, no, I don't want to be rich. I'd rather be happy. Why can't you be both? I want to be rich and happy. I don't know when it became an either or. When people ask me, do I like chocolate? I say, yes, I love chocolate. Why are you asking me, do you want to offer me some? Give me some. I will not say, I do like chocolate, but I'd rather be happy. No. So if you ask me, you want money? Do you want to be rich? I will say yes. Do you want to teach me something? You want to do a business deal? Okay? I want to make money. So just because I want money doesn't mean I'm going to do anything. I'm not going to make myself miserable to make money. I want to be happy while I make my money. Money will not make you happy, but at the same time, you can be happy if you have money and you can be happy if you don't have money. Usually the money is not the main factor, but I also have a question to ask anyone who wants to dispute that. What does make you happy though? Is it spending time with your family and friends? Is it eating well? Is it traveling? If you want to spend time with friends and family, like I said, I was working 6 days a week. I would see them like once a month. If I'm working for myself, if I'm in charge of everything, if I can afford to take a day off and spend it with my friends and family, money helped me do that. Travel, I need money to travel. When I spend time with my friends, we like to bake, we like to eat really good food. It takes money to buy that, okay? Money is more of having the freedom to not think about money, to not struggle with money, because there's people who are really, really rich and they still act like they have no money because they're so worried about money and worried about being broke because they have a very negative association with money. That is not me. That is not my goal. So, right now, if your dream job is the job that I just quit, working in marketing, having a 9 to 5 job, working in an office from 9 to 5, by all means, reach for that and do it, and you'll be happy. I don't think I mentioned this, but it's been just over a year since I've been working for myself, and I have never missed my job. Not a single day did I miss. "Oh, I wish I was back at the office right now. I wish I was like, waiting for my paycheck at the end of the month." No, I do not. I have never made less than what I was paid. I have always made at least double since I left there. I have made more than that on separate occasions. I have spent so much more time with my friends. We have sleepovers all the time, like once or twice a week. I can afford to eat better. I have more time to work out. My mind is relaxed. When I wake up, my morning routine is totally different to what it was before. I wake up and I'm excited. I want to know what I'm going to do for the day. So tell me in the comment section below, are you still working? Do you love your job? If you love your job and it's a 9 to 5 job, please tell me what your job is. If you want to quit your job and this video helped you or made you decide not to, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to know. Hit my face right there to subscribe if you didn't in the beginning. Watch the 2 videos on the side of the screen right here if you'd like to see any of my older videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!